Today I wanted to show you one of the most nutritious underground organs you can find in Europe. This is marsh woundwort, Stachys palustris. This is a plant from the mint family, and it only forms these bulbous rhizomes in the cold season. So in Poland they would start appearing in the middle of September, but they are best formed at the end of September or early October, and then they stay in the ground until early May, and in early May they get thinner and they turn into above ground plants. So the plant comes up very late, only in mid-May, when most of the plants already have leaves. And this plant was traditionally used in parts of southern Poland, from Tatra Mountains to the present border of Ukraine, mainly in the Carpathians, where it was dug out from potato fields. It also grows on the edges of water and in wet meadows, but the main source was just fields, because it was a pernicious weed, and it actually resembles another plant which has edible rhizomes, Thyum scisarum, and this plant was called kucmerka in Polish. And then the cultivation of Thyum stopped in some time ago, but the people still used the same name of the plant to name marsh woundwort, so they confused the two species. The main carbohydrate is oligosaccharides, so impossible to digest by humans unless transformed by, for example, lactofermentation. But I'm sure it contains some starch as well, because it feels nutritious, and once you fry it or bake it, it's just delicious. And you can sometimes find really large amounts of it. Also, voles collect it and make large nests underground, and a few times I found even like nests with like 1 or 2 kilos of these rhizomes. Primitive people would often use rodent nests to as a source of food, and they would trace them in snow in winter, looking for traces of rodents. For example, in North America, Indians would find caches of beech nuts, and in Siberia this would be like lily bulbs. And here in Poland, some people remember it and know about it, so I'm sure that peasants also knew about these large storages of these rhizomes, and they would just think, oh, it's edible for rodents, I should also eat it, and that's how they ate it. The plant was, for example, dried for winter and added to soups, but also it was a children's snack. We don't have so much data on the use, but it was definitely used like many other wild foods in Poland as a part of a thick soup. So here is what marsh woundwort looks now in autumn, in November. The flowers appear in summer. Not a big plant, just a knee high. And this is marsh woundwort flowering in summer. It's got purple flowers in spikes at the top of the plant, like some mints. Very similar to mint, actually. Now frying on oil. Really delicious. One more thing, this plant is really similar to Chinese artichoke or Japanese artichoke, another name, Stachys affinis, Stachys sieboldi. They also have similar rhizomes, but even thicker, and they taste the same, and they can be used the same way, fried or lacto-fermented. If you are more interested in marsh woundwort, you can find lots of information in our paper from Genetic Resources and crop evolution from 2011, showing all the places where it was used in Poland, but also describing how people tried to use it and cultivate it in other countries. Some stories from Great Britain and Sweden, for example.